Have you ever opened your phone just to check one little thing, and then looked up to realize 10, 20, even 30 minutes have completely disappeared? Or maybe you felt this. You sit down at your desk, ready to work, determined to focus, but your brain just refuses to stay in one place. It feels like trying to hold sand in your hands. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something important. It's not your fault. And this is not a problem with your discipline or your willpower. There's something happening inside your brain, something silent, something subtle that almost nobody knows how to explain properly. Today, I'm going to show you the truth that most people never hear. Your phone didn't just distract you. It has fundamentally reprogrammed your ability to focus. But the good news is, once you understand how this rewiring works, you will know exactly how to reverse it and take back control of your attention. So let's go inside your brain for a moment. Your brain is built on two ancient powerful systems, the reward system and the focus system. These systems evolved over millions of years, long before smartphones were even a flicker of an idea. But today, in our modern world, they are being pitted against each other in a battle that your focus system is losing. It all starts with something I call the dopamine drip. Every single swipe, every tap, every notification, every scroll gives your brain a tiny microdose of a chemical called dopamine. It's not a huge, euphoric spike like you might imagine. It's just a tiny little reward signal that whispers to your brain, "Hey, that was good. Do that again." Swipe, you get a reward. Scroll, another reward. Refresh your feed, another tiny reward. Individually, these are just micro hits, almost insignificant. But when you repeat them hundreds or thousands of times a day, they work exactly like a powerful habit training program. Your brain starts to learn a very simple, very dangerous equation. Fast, constant stimulation equals good. And by comparison, slow, deep focus equals boring. And this is where the first crack in your attention span begins to form. Next, let's talk about the novelty factory. Your phone is the most powerful novelty delivery device ever created. Humans evolved to pay intense attention to novelty, to anything new in our environment. Back in our evolutionary past, a new sound in the bush or a new shape on the horizon could mean the difference between survival and becoming lunch. Novelty meant survival. Your phone hijacks this ancient survival instinct by delivering an endless stream of novelty on demand. New colors, new faces, new videos, new sounds, new jokes, new opinions, new controversies. A constant fire hose of new hits of stimulation. Your brain has never, in its entire history, had access to this much novelty per minute. And just like any other powerful stimulus, it can become addicted. It gets hooked on something new. As a result, anything that's slow, anything that requires patient effort like working, studying, reading a book, or even just thinking deeply starts to feel unbearably dull and frustrating. Now this leads us to the final and most critical part of the breakdown, the prefrontal crash. The prefrontal cortex is the most evolved part of your brain. It's your CEO. It handles all the important stuff: long-term thinking, planning, complex reasoning, emotional regulation, and you guessed it, discipline and focused attention. But this incredible system has a major weakness. It cannot switch tasks rapidly for long periods without getting exhausted. And what does your phone force it to do all day long? Constant rapid switching. You're working on a task, then a notification pops up. You check it, then you scroll a little, you go back to the task. A message comes in, you reply. You go back to the task, but then you remember a quick video you wanted to watch. Task, notification, scroll, task, message, video, task. This cycle forces your prefrontal cortex into overdrive. Eventually, the system just can't keep up. It begins to collapse. And when it does, you feel the symptoms. A sense of mental fatigue you can't shake, a noticeably shorter attention span, lower motivation to start difficult things, and what feels like weaker willpower. This isn't an accident. This isn't a character flaw. It is neurological exhaustion, pure and simple. Your brain's focus center is literally running on empty. But the most dangerous part of this whole process isn't what you've probably heard before. It's a deeper change, one that affects not just your productivity, but how you experience the world. And understanding that is the key to truly fixing this. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your brain. First up is what I call the invisible drain. Did you know that just having your phone nearby, even face down and silent, is enough to drain your mental energy? Studies have proven it. Your phone's mere presence lowers your working memory and problem-solving skills, because a part of your brain is always on standby, waiting for a notification, a buzz, a little hit of stimulation. You're not even using it, but it's already costing you focus. Next, there's the reward prediction trap. This is powerful. Apps are designed like slot machines. You swipe, you scroll, you refresh, never knowing what you'll get. A funny video? An important email? Nothing? This unpredictability creates what psychologists call an anticipation loop. It's not the content that gets you hooked. It's the possibility of finding something interesting. Your brain craves that just one more scroll feeling, and it's an incredibly strong psychological pull. This leads to the auto-check reflex. Over time, your brain creates a powerful habit. Feeling a little bored? Check your phone. Waiting in line? Check your phone. In the middle of a thought? Check your phone. It becomes an automatic conditioned response, even when you don't want to, and even when there's nothing new to see. It's pure reflex. And every single time you do this, you trigger thought fragmentation. Deep, meaningful focus takes at least 10 to 15 minutes of uninterrupted time to build up. But if you're checking your phone every 30 seconds, your brain never gets past the starting line. It's constantly resetting its attention cycle, trapping you in a state of shallow, surface-level thinking. You can't unsolve complex problems or have deep insights if you're always being pulled back to the surface. Then there's the productivity mirage. Scrolling, checking, replying, refreshing, it all feels like you're doing something. It feels like movement and activity, but what are you actually producing? Most of the time, nothing. It's the illusion of being busy without any real progress. And if that wasn't bad enough, the long-term consequences are even more serious. Your brain starts to develop a lower tolerance for effort. Anything that doesn't provide instant stimulation feels boring or too hard. Your natural motivation collapses because your dopamine system gets thrown out of balance. You might start feeling anxious in silence because your brain is no longer comfortable without constant input. Your memory starts to fail because forming short-term memories requires sustained attention. And ultimately, your brain just stops going deep. It learns to skim, not to think. Understanding these mechanisms is the first real step to taking back your focus. It's not just about willpower. It's about redesigning your environment and retraining your brain. Does it feel like your brain is constantly buzzing? Like you can't focus on one thing for more than a few minutes? You jump from email to social media, to a news alert, and back again. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Our modern world has trained our brains to skim, not to think deeply. Every notification, every endless scroll is like a tiny interruption that chips away at our ability to concentrate. Over time, your brain actually rewires itself. It gets addicted to novelty and constant stimulation, making deep, focused work feel almost impossible. It's like trying to read a book in the middle of a rock concert. But here's the part most people don't realize. Your brain can recover. And the good news? It can happen faster than you think. You can actually rewire your brain back to its focused, powerful state. We're going to walk through a 7-day challenge to reclaim your attention and get your brain back. Are you ready? Let's begin. Day 1 is all about removing micro-interruptions. These are the tiny pings and buzzes that constantly pull you out of the zone. First, go into your phone settings and turn off at least 90% of your notifications. Be ruthless. Do you really need an alert every time someone likes your photo? Probably not. Next, declutter your home screen. Move all those tempting apps into folders or onto other pages. The goal is to make distractions less visible and harder to access. Finally, and this is crucial, when you need to do deep work, put your phone physically out of reach. Put it in another room, in a drawer, anywhere but on your desk. The simple act of creating physical distance makes a huge difference. Day 2 is dedicated to breaking your brain's addiction to novelty. Our brains love new things, and infinite scroll apps are designed to feed that craving endlessly. The first step is to switch your phone to grayscale. This sounds simple, but it's incredibly effective. By removing the vibrant colors, you make your phone significantly less appealing. Suddenly, scrolling through Instagram becomes a lot less exciting. Next, replace your infinite scroll apps with finite ones. Instead of a social media feed that never ends, try reading an ebook, listening to a podcast, or using a language learning app. These activities have a clear beginning and end, which helps train your brain to appreciate completion instead of endless novelty. On day 3, we're going to reset your dopamine baseline. Dopamine is the feel-good chemical our brain releases when we get a reward, like a notification or a new post. Overuse of technology has hijacked this system, leaving us constantly craving more. To reset it, you need to starve the beast. For 2 to 4 hours today, put your phone in another room and don't touch it. During this time, work on a single task. No multitasking, just one thing. It could be writing, coding, painting, or even organizing a closet. The point is to teach your brain that it doesn't need constant digital stimulation to feel engaged and productive. It might feel difficult or even boring at first, but stick with it. This is a critical step in rewiring your reward system. Day 4 is about rebuilding your attention stamina. Just like a muscle, your ability to focus can be strengthened with practice. If you haven't been doing deep work, you can't expect to suddenly focus for hours on end, so we'll start small. Today, set a timer for just 10 minutes and dedicate that time to a single focused task. No distractions. When the timer goes off, you can take a break. Tomorrow, increase it to 15 minutes. The day after, 20. Continue increasing your focus sessions by 5 minutes each day. This gradual approach builds your attention muscle without causing burnout. It's about making steady progress and celebrating the small wins along the way. You'll be surprised how quickly your capacity for deep focus grows. Day 5 is about removing unpredictable rewards. This is what makes slot machines and social media so addictive. You never know when you'll hit the jackpot or see something amazing, so you keep pulling the lever, or in this case, you keep scrolling. To combat this, you have 2 options. The first is drastic but effective. Delete the infinite scrolling apps from your phone. Get rid of them for the week or even for good. If that feels too extreme, the second option is to lock them away. Use your phone's built-in focus mode or an app locking feature to put a password on these apps. By adding a layer of friction, you break the cycle of mindless, automatic checking and make your app usage more intentional. Day 6 is for strengthening your prefrontal cortex. This is the part of your brain responsible for executive functions like planning, decision-making, and, you guessed it, regulating attention. We can actively strengthen it. There are several scientifically proven methods. Try some form of cold exposure, like a cold shower. It's a powerful way to activate your prefrontal cortex. Meditation is another excellent tool. Even a few minutes a day can make a big difference. Reading a physical book also forces your brain to maintain focus. And finally, simple breathwork exercises can calm your nervous system and bring your attention to the present moment. Pick 1 or 2 of these activities and incorporate them into your day. You're not just fighting distraction. You're building a stronger brain. Finally, day 7 is about rebuilding the habit of deep thinking. We've spent the week clearing out the noise. Now it's time to let your mind stretch its legs again. Start journaling your thoughts without a specific goal. Just write. Plan out your week or a future project on paper. Go for a long walk and deliberately leave your phone at home. Let your mind wander. Think intentionally about a problem you're facing or a creative idea you have. The goal is to get comfortable with your own thoughts again, without needing a screen to entertain you. Allow yourself to be bored. It's in those quiet moments that our best ideas often emerge, and that's it. 7 days is not about perfection. It's about progress. With just 1 week of intentional effort, you can start to break the cycle of distraction. You'll feel the fog begin to lift. Your thoughts will become clearer, and your ability to focus will return. Your brain will start to feel like yours again. This isn't a one-time fix, but a toolkit you can use whenever you feel the digital noise creeping back in. Feeling like your phone has hijacked your brain? It's not your fault, and it's not the phone's fault either. Your brain is just incredibly good at adapting. It learned to be distracted because that's what our environment demands. But here's the good news. Just as easily as it learned distraction, it can relearn deep, powerful focus. But what if I told you the phone is just a symptom? The real issue goes much deeper, right into your brain's operating system. I'm talking about your dopamine system. This is the hidden engine driving your motivation, your clarity, and yes, your attention span. Most of us go through life never understanding this crucial cycle, leaving us feeling scattered and unmotivated. If you're ready to stop fighting the symptoms and fix the root cause, I've created a full neuroscience-based guide to reset your dopamine system. Click on the next video to finally restore your focus and take back control of your mind.